see this in our own day. Impressive anti-God kingdoms. I was just reading this morning, churches in Mozambique being burned to the ground. We see this in the political sphere. We see this in the cultural sphere. The pressure to accept man's practices that the Bible condemns as sin. And what's even more sinister to me is the way that Christians have learned to think about their own lives, their identity, their significance. You see, we often confess, Jesus is my only hope, Jesus is my Lord, I believe the Bible, I believe everything in the Bible. But when it comes down to it, we live our lives for the kingdoms of gold, of silver, of bronze, and of iron. You say, Kyle, what do you mean? We believe heaven is real, right? We believe that the Almighty God of heaven is there. He is the one who is the author of life and happiness and joy and peace and meaning. We believe that He made us, that He gave us our worth. But if all that's true, then let me ask this. Why are so many of us anxious? So many of us hurried, frantic about the things of this world? If I can just make an observation, many people in this world, Christians as well, are consumed living for the kingdoms of gold, silver, bronze, and iron. For some people, their whole lives are wrapped up in what they own. Man, if I just get that right house, that right car, well, if we just get the boat, if we just get the lake house, if we just have this experience, if we just have whatever it is, fill in the blank, then life will be good. None of those things are wrong on their own, but they make terrible gods. They're terrible when you live for them. They're terrible when you think about them and worship them. For some people, their whole life is consumed with being successful in the eyes of man. Once I get promoted, once I get this job, once they read my book, once I get recognized, once I make this dollar amount, once they praise my name. For others, it's the right relationship. Once I meet that man, once I meet that woman, once I have this, then my life will be great. Young people, for some of you, your whole life is wrapped up in getting into the right college. That's the narrative that's pushed. If you take these EAP classes, if you get a good enough grades, if you get that scholarship, then life will be successful. Maybe you're trying to impress your peers. Maybe you're trying to impress your parents. So many students, when they fall behind, it makes them sick, and they will cheat on a test or a paper just to keep up their image. But they're living for the kingdom of the academy. Because I don't know what your kingdom is. Houses, cars, relationship, jobs, significance, status. All of those are kingdoms of gold, silver, bronze, and iron. They might look impressive. They might even shine. They may be frightening and powerful. But don't forget how the dream ends. Every single one of those kingdoms, every single empire of man will be destroyed. Every single one of them will become broken, like chaff that blows away in the wind. You see, I think it was the end of this dream that shocked Nebuchadnezzar the most. He could believe that Babylon was the head of gold. I mean, he's telling servants what to do. He's taking over empires. No problem with that. He could even maybe believe that, okay, I can understand how some kingdom in the future would take over me. That makes sense too. But the part of the dream that must have really shook him was this stone. How could it be that this stone will destroy every kingdom of man and leave them as nothing? It's the same struggle that you and I have to believe. The kingdoms of school, of money, of luxury, of government, of politics, athletics, popularity, fashion, Hollywood, all of it will one day come to nothing.